boy. Yeah, boy.
Cheers. You are now watching Create a Steady Hustle with Likquidcash.
Jay said, if you're a great leader, it shouldn't be no chaos. That's bullshit. That is straight bullshit. If you're a great leader, it shouldn't be no chaos. Listen, anytime you're dealing with another person, another human being, there will always be some chaos. There will always be conflict. There will always be disagreement. There will always be a back and forth. As long as you're dealing with another human being, and especially a human being that don't know their place, that's not playing their position. Because women always have have this thing in their mind where they be like, if the shoe was on the other foot. It's like, why would the shoe be on the other foot? I'm wearing the shoes that I came with. You dig? And I'm wearing the shoes of a leader. You dig? So I'm never gonna put my shoes on you. You wear the shoes of a woman that's catering and nurturing and provides a certain level of softness to my life. I don't want to put on your shoes. I want you to wear your shoes. The shoe's never gonna be on the other foot. So a lot of times women always like to use that analogy. Well, if the shoe was on the other foot, you wouldn't have did it that way. Or if you wouldn't have this and that, you wouldn't have this and that and this. Listen, ma, the shoe would never be on the other foot, man. Like, I'm gonna tell you an example, right? Check this out. I'm gonna give you an example. This happened a while ago, right? I'm downstairs in the gym. I'm having a good day. I'm chilling with a female, right? We having a great day. You dig? I decided to say, hey, listen, let's go to the gym real quick. Let's work out real quick. And we working out, and I'm showing her some new workout techniques that I think she can add to her regimen or her routine, and it will help her physique. So we working out, we having a wonderful time, everything going fine, right? So I gave her the house keys to go upstairs. I said, you know what? You go 5 minutes before me, prepare some of the food that you brought over, and I'll be right behind you. Now, she doesn't really want to go up before me. She's asking me, why do I gotta go up before you? Can we go up together? I'm like, nah, let's just go up first. I gotta take care of something real quick. So I get upstairs, and when I get upstairs, she's serving the food, but she's serving the food with an attitude. Her whole energy shift. She's mad for some reason. And I'm asking her, like, what are you mad at? What's the problem? What's wrong? She decides to tell me she's mad because she went up before me, and it seemed like I was doing something sneaky or something manipulative. That's why I wanted her to go up before me. And I said, that's some interesting way of thinking. I said, that's your insecurities and your negative way of thinking. Because little do she know, the reason I wanted her to go upstairs before me is because I saw one of my neighbors that owes me some money. He was walking his dog to the walk park. He was walking his dog to the dog park, and I wanted to go catch him before he goes back upstairs. But I didn't feel the need I need to tell her that. I didn't feel the need I needed to give her that information. So I just said, go upstairs, get the food ready, and I'll meet you there in 5 minutes. But in her negative way of thinking mind, she thought I was doing some underhanded shit. Now, mind you, let me give you a little context. There was other women in the gym. There was ugly than a bulldog, but there was other women in the gym. You dig? So I'm thinking maybe in her mind, she thinking in her negative way of thinking that I might be trying to holler at one of these bulldog looking ass bitches. But that was far from the truth. And to plead her case or to speak her piece, she made a comment as far as saying, well, if the shoe was on the other foot, you would have felt some type of way, or if you would have looked at it in a strange way. And I said to her, the shoe would never be on the other foot because you would never be sending me upstairs to go prepare food. That would never happen. You would never be sending me upstairs to prepare food for us. That's not something I'm doing. You know what I mean? That's something you're not gonna give me that type of instructions. You're not gonna say, here's the keys, go upstairs, prepare the food, I'll be there in 5 minutes. That's never gonna happen. So the shoe would never be on the other foot. So I don't even know why you're using that analogy. Because women always using that analogy for some reason. But they trying to put their minds inside of the mind of a man. You can't never think the way a man is thinking, and I never think the way you thinking because God made me to be a man. So I'm never really going to understand the thought process of a woman truly and honestly. I'm never going to understand the thought process of a woman because I'm a man, and you're never going to understand my thought process. The problem is you motherfuckers try. That's the problem. You try to figure out my thought process. You try to figure out a man's thought process. You try to figure out how he thinks and what he's feeling and what's going through his mind. That's the problem. You can't never figure out what's going on in a man's mind. You ain't supposed to know what's going on in a man's mind. You dig? You ain't supposed to. And I'm not supposed to really know honestly what's going on in your mind. I can't know all the nuances of what's, goes on in your mind because women have times when they're hot and they're cold. I'm not gonna be trying to figure out her temperature every second, every minute. It's a full-time job to keep your head on the swivel. I told y'all that already. You gotta work hard on yourself than you do at your job because if you work hard on your job, you make a living. If you work hard on yourself, you make a fortune. Cheers, what it is and what it ain't. It's yours truly, Liquid Cash. I need it all out the stash, AKA, but it ain't about that right now, man. It's about the Cash Academy, Personal Development Transformation Academy, where you can be, do, and have anything and everything you want out of life, how to make your dreams come true, how to manifest your reality, but most importantly, how to raise your DNA vibration. Y'all been asking me about my hair routine, my skin routine, my morning routine. Y'all been asking me all type of questions in my DM, but I've been hearing and I got the answers. Listen, the Cash Academy is the place where you need to sign up right now so you can have all the answers to the questions that you may have. You dig? Sign up right now. Join the Cash Academy with yours truly, Liquid Cash. Cheers.